All right. Well, now that we're not ready again. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to jump off camera and take off my sweater because I'm dying of heat stroke here.
Maybe that'll get our numbers. We should all just take our shirts off.
You should keep that on camera. Put it in the bonus reel.
I don't think that's going to have the effect that anyone wants.
Welcome to DungeonBrew.
Welcome back to DungeonBrew as we're continuing our adventure with our investigators in the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, and our story is The Dance of Madness. We have our investigators on the train heading towards Louisiana, where they are going to travel to Knott's Haven to try to find out about potentially another book. They're looking for the man named Igor Kepler, and he seems to be running some type of resort or something out of Louisiana, and so they are traveling there to get there. Last, when we left them, they were on the train, and some of them had regained some health, others had regained some sanity. 2 of them learned a spell, and the others were trying to be more social and learn maybe who's on the train, and they made some discoveries. One of them was that there was more of the Boston Police Department traveling on this train, which they had information that there were supposed to be members from Boston Police Department traveling to Knottsville or Knott's Haven to get a book. And so they have apparently found those individuals. But also on the train, they seem to have discovered potentially some people from the Dreamwalkers. And they just had finished a meal. They've all talked, and we're going to pick up right after that to see what's going on now. So, basically, you finished lunch. There's been some serious talking. Some people have gone off to their rooms. Let's check in with everyone of kind of what are your thoughts right now. I know Theo and Jack were in a conversation in their room, or in Jack's room, and Declan, I think, left. I don't remember where Declan went, but I know Simon went back and went to his room.
Declan's got a room across the hall from Jack, and since Jack was staying in his room with the book, Declan was just staying in his own room to make sure in case anybody was able to figure out where the book was or tried to check in on him or anything, that he had some backup.
That's right. All right.
I'm just hanging out in my room, shuffling cards I don't have, smoking a cigar, something like that.
Okay.
Simon's going to be in his room, probably pacing a little bit, knowing that there's coppers back on the train once more, and knowing that he is being sought. So he's a little nervous to show his face and unsure to how to respond. But in the back of his mind, he's also thinking about the Book of Ibis that is in Jack's possession, and he had been essentially given this idea from O'Cracky that he should get his hand on the Book of Ibis and read through it a little bit to get some inspiration for his playwright. And so he's trying to scheme up a way to potentially get his hands on that book without, causing any ruckus among his fellow investigators.
Okay. And that leaves Jack and Theo.
Jack, after that conversation with Theo, as per usual, Jack will take his bag with him. Kind of everywhere he goes, he does that anyway. So I'm going to head down to one of the bar cars and find a spot at a bar, and Jack's going to order some whiskey. And keep an eye out, not approach anybody for sure, but keep an eye out for specifically Dreamwalkers.
Okay.
Or that group, because we don't know what they are.
Okay, so you go to order your whiskey. The person serving you is going to look at you a little funny and kind of be like, we don't serve alcohol on the train. You are in Prohibition.
I guess we haven't had the opportunity to try and order a drink so far in this campaign.
No, we just did.
Yeah.
Now, I guess if you want to try a luck roll or something to see if there is something there.
Yeah.
But
seduce your way to some whiskey.
Get yourself a little moonshine.
Nope. I failed that with a 92, or I succeeded, depending on how you look at it.
And this guy will get kind of like, we don't serve that, sir, and if you continue to ask, we may remove you from the train. And he gets ticked off and walks off.
Forcibly while going down the rail.
I know, right?
So,
Hey, do you guys have whiskey? Throw him off.
So, obviously, it's not a bar then. What am I looking at? I'm sitting at a counter. Then clearly, what is in front of me, Sir Game Master?
You would have the option of maybe some water or soda. I think they could probably have a soda jerk on there or something.
Coffee. A juice? You ever heard of a juice bar? Yeah. Want some beet juice?
I apologize. I did not research the what type of drinks they would have available on trains in the 1940s.
Jack will order some coffee then.
Okay. And begrudgingly, the server will set it down and then just like be staring at you.
And then Jack will light a cigarette.
You don't add anything. All right, that's okay. There's no problem with that.
Yeah.
That's fine, but no whiskey.
He was probably smoking a cigarette when he served you.
Probably.
Yeah.
Good enough.
You said you're kind of observing to see if you see anything?
I am.
Okay.
Boston PD guys, see if I know any of them, anything like that.
Okay. Well, as you're kind of sitting there watching, you don't really recognize these Boston PD individuals that you can see. You do see that there's 4 of them. And
how do I know it's them? Just out of curiosity.
I will say that probably, well, I don't know. I figure that probably Declan maybe described them a little bit or said where they were sitting.
I would have given as much information as I could on everybody that I noticed.
And I would say that, given your history of working, again, you're going to notice the same thing. It's like they are totally trying to act like they're not police officers, but they're giving every vibe that like they can't shake off everything, and they somehow manage to like dress almost identical, even though they're not.
How far away from them am I?
Let's say that you're probably about Reef, how long's a train car? I don't know, 15, 20 feet. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. If there's an open seat, I'm going to sit next to them, mostly specifically to where my back is, to where I'm not facing them. If there's an open seat. If not, I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay.
Specifically just because I want to listen in.
Okay, so you'll sit there. We'll have you do that. What about Theo? What are you doing?
After the conversation with Jack, Theo would go back to him and Simon's room, make sure Simon's doing all right, see if he needs anything.
Okay.
And then otherwise, he's just going to stay around Simon with the police and the walkers around. He doesn't feel that Simon's particularly safe right now. So he's just being close to him, make sure that he can back him up if he needs it.
Okay. And I guess real quick, Jack, I don't know if we know this. Did you take the book with you, or did you leave it in your room? Or have you
it is in my bag, and my bag is always with me.
Okay.
Did I hear Jack leave his room when he left?
I don't think he was trying to be...
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be quiet. So
yeah, and I would say that if you were kind of watching or kind of listening and being, I don't see why there wouldn't be a reason you'd hear him leave.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the whole reason I was there, was to listen out,
right,
and make sure. Which not to like keep tabs on him, but if I hear him get up and leave, then I may just follow him into the car.
Okay.
Give him his space if that seems like what he wants, but just kind of being around so that he has backup if it's necessary.
Gotcha. And you had that paper that the last stop you went and got. So just to remind you that you had a newspaper with you.
Oh yeah. No, I bought a newspaper, so I'll sit down at a table and read my newspaper, smoke a cigar, get myself some beet juice.
They have that. Simon, you're in you're in the car. Theo returns. any plans for what you're wanting to do, or?
I don't know if we need to go through it, but I imagine Simon would just ask Theo to explain more, like his perspective of what's going on and what his knowledge is about things. So we can go through that if you'd like to.
That's fine.
Unless you're just checking in to see where we're at, so you can move back.
I'm kind of seeing what we're going to do
Jack.
for the next kind of section of the day. So it sounds like, Jack's being social. So he's going to kind of listen into the police officers. And then we've got Declan kind of following Jack. So I'll give him an opportunity to kind of listen in or pay attention to his surroundings. Theo's kind of hanging around you. So
I imagine I'll converse with him a little bit and work
Okay.
on my playwright. So I'll just be writing on my playwright and just talking to him off and on.
Okay. So why don't you guys have that
Theo would be fine sharing stuff about the Shadow Realm, what he's learned and whatnot, as you talk about your book and your play and what you got going on. Anything that might be pertinent to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have any specific questions you're going to ask him, or?
My curiosity has gotten the better of me, Theodore. What exactly is the role of butlers in this whole situation? I heard you say something before to the Dick about butlers having some sort of insight into the Shadow Realm and such things of import.
I've read stories of old magic that involved servants passed down through lineages, and I've read, the hell's his name? I've read about the Dominicus Supreme.
Oh, okay.
Which was some kind of super butler that we think might have ties to the book, as far as that fourth guardian being the Supreme.
I see. Can you explain a little bit more? And I'm just jotting down notes as he's talking to me, like I'm going to include it in my playwright. What exactly role do these books have? I mean, are they gateways, per se, into the Shadow Realm?
I honestly don't know about that one. The book that our friend is carrying around is new to me. I've never seen it before. And all this stuff about walkers is all new.
Ah, very intriguing. I just wonder what exactly we'll find when we reach Louisiana.
Well, if Chaplin is anything to go by, it won't be fun.
So we'll just kind of carry on and chat off and on.
And I don't remember if you, just to remind you that you had you had consulted with your muse, and you had asked to see about the Book of Scales, and or see a book, I think was with scales on or something. But you noticed a person that looked, I was just reminding you, that looked like a butler that was combing through the book. So, all right.
Yep.
So, all right. With that, I'm going to say that everyone can add 3 to their sanity. You're all just kind of doing activities and kind of getting a break from some of it. Simon, you're writing away kind of your book, and I feel like that's something you've been wanting to do, giving you kind of a release. Declan, you're getting to smoke that cigar. You're kind of watching things and everything. Theo, you're there kind of doing what you normally do. So again, that process.
Standard chores, cleaning, such.
You're enjoying your coffee and your cigarette and listening to the police. So first off, Jack, I can't remember. Is there a listening skill?
Yes.
There is. It's under social.
Okay. So do a listening roll.
Oh, this is going to go swimmingly. I'd like to push that if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
I failed with a 76, and then I failed with a 64.
Okay. So what kind of happens here is that you're kind of sitting trying to listen, and they're just talking soft enough that you just can't really hear them. You make out a little bit, and what you do make out is they're expecting to get word from Detective Pike when they reach Louisiana. And they're kind of talking about more. You kind of readjust yourself to try to lean a little closer to hear. And you kind of you kind of get this like and you kind of glance over, and one of them's looking at you like kind of gives you a look, and they kind of start talking even softer, and just kind of like mind your own business. It's not that they're annoyed that you're listening. It's more just like, they know people like to butt in on other conversations, and almost either a warning to the others, but they're going to kind of talk a little softer and lean in and be a little more discreet.
Okay.
Declan, I guess you can make a roll of if you're just generally listening, or you can make kind of like a spot hidden to see if you notice thing out of the ordinary.
I'm far enough away. I also have read lips, so I don't know if that's
Okay.
more appropriate.
That's perfect.
Whatever you want.
I guess it's kind of what you're wanting to do.
I guess I did reading lips last time. I'll listen. I haven't listened.
Okay.
I would like to push that.
Okay. So
Man.
your first roll was an 88, which was a failure.
Those old man ears are pretty good.
And the next thing you did is you did push it, and you rolled a 46.
Yeah, which is success.
You actually don't necessarily hear what the police officers are talking, but you do notice that the servers mention that basically the last cart, or the last car before kind of the luggage stuff, is been kind of reserved, and they're not letting trained staff go back there. And so and they're kind of shrugging like, we're just told not to go back there, and we have I don't know, I'm not dealing with it. And they
So
just kind of
the luggage car is inaccessible because they can't go. Like there's a car between them and the luggage car.
yeah
Interesting. Is this the back of the train?
yeah in the back.
Okay. Something to play with later, I guess.
Think about.
I mean, I definitely will, but it'll be I think that I don't know how much time we have left today.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say that you guys kind of hear that, and you can come if you guys want to come together for dinner talk. If there's something you're wanting to do, I won't let it take up the entire time. If you want to make a plan or do something, then you can have a discussion. Or if you're just wanting to be aware who's there and maybe watch or just try to get information, that's another option as well.
Okay. Well, I guess it depends on what's available for dinner.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what is available for dinner?
I'm in the mood for street tacos, but I don't expect to see those on a train.
Simon would like some roasted goose.
Okay. All right. Why don't you both? We'll make like an opposing roll here. You both can roll luck.
Is that Simon and I?
Yep. No one else spoke up, so.
Oh, that's nice.
Man.
Roll-offs against Joshua never end well, so that's
Yeah.
surprising.
That's a success with a 19 for some roasted goose.
And Declan rolled a 72 with a failure.
I don't even know what word you're saying.
Goose, roasted goose.
Roasted goose.
Or it was
roasted goose.
Goat leg.
a goat named Gus.
Yeah. Roasted goat.
Oh, no.
Poor Gus.
I know.
Oh.
But anyways, so they are having some roasted goose. And it'll be
I'll eat
up
that.
there to be served. And so there you go. I mean, for lunch you had queso. They unfortunately did not have street tacos, but roasted goose they did have for dinner.
You guys
You would
never heard
think
the song of... I've never listened to The Lonely Island where they have the boombox song and they sing about roasted goose.
Can't say that I have.
I don't think so. I've
All
heard
right.
a lot of their stuff, but never that one.
since doing this series with you guys, I'm finding out how uncultured I really am. So.
I know. Never even heard of James Taylor. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there, your goose has been cooked and laid before you, and
I'm so
How
glad
would you
you
guys
said
like
that.
how would you like to?
That means we're all gonna die, right?
Yeah.
How would you guys like to proceed?
Eating the goose.
Yeah, I would like to eat my goose.
Fork and a knife.
So, I heard that apparently one of these cars in the back are being reserved for something special. Can't tell you right what it is, but with all the folks on board, it gives me a bit of a... makes me a bit curious. Maybe what else is being brought along with us? Not exactly sure how they were bringing people down to Louisiana. So I thought maybe they got some more folks on board.
You're
Yeah.
thinking product folks that they were kidnapping or whatever?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Well,
Figured it's worth a peek, at the least.
Declan,
Yeah.
as always, your head's on straight. Mine was thinking whiskey, right? It went straight to that. So, I'm glad you're thinking.
We got prohibition for how many years now? You're still thinking about whiskey.
Yeah, well, you know,
Ever get a touch of moonshine?
I'll take anything at this point.
I feel like Jack, as you mentioned whiskey, you kind of glance around and that server is looking straight at you.
He's just wiping a cup, glaring at you.
His ginger ale glass is just
shaking.
We've got root beer. Jeez.
So you really think that they got people stored back there?
Hard to say. But if the staff aren't allowed into their own train, it's gotta be something important.
Well, I'm gonna take a bite of my goose and then wipe my mouth off with my napkin.
Meanwhile,
Hopefully it's a
I'm
cloth.
like mopping up gravy with bread and just having a...
Hopefully it's a cloth napkin. Well, no one tells Simon Peters where he can or cannot go. I could rightly go check this out.
Jack's just gonna keep eating the goose. Like he's not even looking up. So I assume Simon's walked off at this point.
No, I'm proposing that I will just go back and head back to the train.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you.
I figure we
Like,
just
yep.
want to do it maybe when we're sure there's nobody around. That would be my biggest concern.
Which car? Which car was it again? Like from where we were earlier in the day. Like I assume we're in a dining car at this point.
Yeah,
Right.
I would say you're probably about 4 cars back. Would be
So
near
the
back.
quote unquote bar car. Where is that compared to where this locked car is? Because that was towards the back of the train as well, correct?
No, I would say it's probably
Are we
more
in
towards the middle.
Okay. So
Where's
we're
our-
currently. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, where's our quarters compared to this car?
Okay.
Like, where our
Right.
bedrooms are.
Well, because I think that, I mean, a lot of times the ones following the actual engine are things like storage and whatnot, because, or like the poor cars. And then the wealthier cars would be towards the end of the train, so that they're not breathing in all the smoke coming off of the engine, right?
I love that explanation.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So, so we'll just say that. So the first ones are kind of more the poorer cars. Then you have kind of the dining cars, and then after that you're going to have some of the more passenger places or cars to go back, and then probably then you start to run into some the last one, and then probably some luggage.
Freight luggage. Okay.
See, the reason I'm asking is because if we're just back in our cars where our rooms are at, we have an upwards hatch. We can just go up there this evening and get on top of the train and cross the top of the train to get back where we need to go and go back down again.
Yeah, but if you get on top of the train, you're still just like on the train.
Yeah,
I'm
but
a
you're not going to.
53-year-old man. I'm not climbing on top of a train.
I'm 61.
But you won't. But you won't run into people up there.
You might run into a tree or something.
Probably true.
A tree?
Like a branch.
I got
railroad sign.
Railroad sign.
I put things into my ride skill. I imagine that's what I'm going to need.
I don't think there's a ride train skill.
Riding on a train.
A horse? I would say a horse would work for the ride skill. A train, I'm not so much. Cars, kind of maybe.
If you're on top of it.
If you right, yes, yes.
I would imagine it's probably decks, just general decks.
Well, we can just go walking back through the doors and see if we can just talk our way in.
You could do that.
I mean, that's assuming that someone is actually guarding it, and it's just
that's kind of my thought.
Like, don't go there.
Okay.
Okay.
Plan A, we'll try to walk back there. Plan B is riding the train.
What's Plan C?
Fighting our way through.
Oh, I was thinking coffin.
So to be clear, the staff that I heard discussing this, did they say who didn't want them to go back there, or did they just say like a general they?
They essentially made it sound like they were told by their kind of management.
Right. So they weren't saying that this was the cops or anyone specifically. Mm-mm. They just were like, we can't go back there.
The conductor said you can't go back there.
Boss man says no.
Right.
Okay.
And let me check on that for you, Theo.
Alternate idea. What if we just disconnect the last two trains? Like the last two train cars. Yeah.
What if there's guns in there that we need or something? There could be like supplies we need.
I think he means with us on it.
I mean,
well, I mean, either way there, but like we are all traveling relatively light. All of our stuff should be on us, so we're not going to lose anything from the baggage car.
But we don't know what is in that car. It could be a bunch of children that we just let loose.
Well, if they're being transported for what we think they're being transported for, wouldn't that still be a better alternative?
Only if they don't get hit by another train that comes and hits them because they've been disconnected and they're sitting in the middle of the train track.
I would hope they would leave the train car at some point.
Presumably it's locked, which is the reason they're still in there, or they're chained up.
Okay, that is a fair point.
They got all the street tacos.
Yeah, we got Goose, quiet. And the chained up children in the train car got street tacos, and Theo wants to leave them in the middle of the tracks to get hit by the next train that comes along.
I just hope this is the conversation we're having around our boiled goose. We're just like, yo, there's children back there in chains!
I was just posing an idea for the list.
Listen, you daft twat. How about we go check first? Let's scope it out, see what's back there, and then we'll make a decision on whether.
Let's see if there's any kids chained up back there.
Somebody's gonna be riding the top of a train like Tom Cruise here.
It might just be a bunch of geese back there, and that's where they get.
That's where
that could be.
There's a roaster back there.
Yeah.
So the staff of the train are hired by like the railroad tycoon, not the conductor, right? So
yeah,
like. Okay.
Conductor is just another employee.
Yeah, they just drive the train.
I have a 50 in drive. I could maybe hijack the train.
Well, how hard is it to travel on tracks?
We're not going there.
No.
I feel like there used to be a skill that we had that was probably driving larger things.
It might be like heavy machinery or operating heavy machinery.
Yeah, something
that you guys
like
said
that.
none of you would ever use, so I took it off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is there was a skill like that would probably make a lot of sense.
I was going,
for
you
it.
idiots, you're going to be riding a train.
You guys are going to end up on one of those things where you got to go...
That's just an endurance check. It'll be fine.
Coal car? That's a coal car, I think, right?
Is that what
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you're heading back?
So the duck was good, or the goose was good, not duck, sorry.
Okay.
And then I guess, yeah, we head back. Are we heading back to our rooms, or are we heading back to that car?
I think we're going to the car, so right past our rooms.
Okay.
Is everyone going?
Oh yeah.
Apparently.
Okay.
And we're doing it at 7:30 at night, when, everybody is moving back and forth to their cars and to their rooms, so no one should notice us. Right?
I'm not.
Well, if we leave the dining hall early before everyone else has finished their meals and we're going back to the lodging things, we can go through the doors and then bar the doors shut behind us so they can't get to their rooms, and then continue on and go look at the
That
things
wouldn't
and
be
come back.
conspicuous.
No, but it'll buy us time.
I don't know that we need to, honestly. I feel like once we leave the car, that we just shut it and no one knows where we're at.
Do we care if anyone sees us? I mean, it's not illegal to go look at a car.
Is it? I don't know what the rules are for trains.
I don't either. I already got yelled at by a bartender today for asking
are
for
we
whiskey
allowed to
during
go
Prohibition
check
anyway.
can we go check our luggage in the luggage car? Is that
I would
something we're allowed to
imagine
do?
the worst that's going to happen, at least initially, as long as we're not causing trouble, is people are going to be like, you don't belong here, go away.
Yeah.
All right.
The staff themselves are not allowed on that car, so whoever is on that car
Has no authority.
it's not a staff member, but at the very least, us knowing who is occupying that car might be something we want to know.
Okay. All right, let's go.
All right.
All right.
That logic
Playing
checks
fol-
out, right?
We're playing
Sure.
follow the leader. We're heading there.
All right, who's
You're heading there,
What's
okay.
the order? What's our marching order?
Simon first.
Oh yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
I love the
He's the
butler. It's
talker.
like, I'm going to put...
I need to stay with my master to keep him safe. You're first, sir.
He's the talker. I just help him.
Okay.
Okay. And then we've got the police officer and the detective behind them. So, all right, you guys are heading down that way, and you make your way back. You're to the third car, and you're getting ready to enter into the one that seems to be the one that's restricted. And as you're coming, you're going to notice just two individuals, just one individual is standing up there. And we'll kind of step in front of you all and be like, this car is reserved.
Reserved for what exactly?
A private group is traveling. Sorry, you're not able to come back here.
And what makes you think that I'm not part of this private group, sir?
Because I know.
Do you know who I am?
No, I don't know who you are, but I know who's traveling with us, and so you are not one of them that's traveling with us.
Who is it exactly that gives you the right to travel on this train? Is it not Cornelius Vanderbilt?
He's gonna look at you with a blank stare.
Cornelius Vanderbilt is the tycoon that owns every railway here on the East Coast. He is a friend of mine, and I have funded his whereabouts quite readily, so you tell me where I can and cannot go on this train is absolutely bizarre. Why don't you step aside and know your place, sir? Can I persuade him? By the way, that's a true fact, people. Cornelius Vanderbilt is the owner of the train.
I assumed you Googled that for your argument.
I guess make a roll of persuasion.
Oh.
Is that persuade or intimidation?
It's persuade. Can I push it?
I'll let you push it.
Oh no.
Oh my god! Two terrible rolls, a failure of an 80 and a failure of a 70.
He's gonna kind of just look at you, and again, I know who's with us, and you are not. So, again, you can be on your way, or else you may have trouble.
I'm going to mutter a threat underneath my breath in Russian, and also fail.
It is not Russian. You spoke Chinese. Mandarin.
It's not so much. I'm going to say that it's not so much you failed the Russian, but he mutters back in Russian, knowing exactly what you said.
Oh, sweet God.
Is there a window in this door while this is going on?
No, but there might be a window in it after.
Here in a second.
No, there is not a window.
There is not a window.
No.
Okay.
I'll slap my hand against the wall and I guess turn around to leave because I have failed this interaction, and I will leave it to my companions to do anything further.
Alright, so we're just going to have like an airplane scenario where each one of us takes a turn.
Yeah, who's holding the baseball bat?
I've got a blackjack.
Are we doing that?
I guess as you walk away, he will say, sir, you asked or you demanded that I should know who you are. Maybe you should give me your name.
If you aren't able to recognize me, then you aren't worth knowing me.
All right.
Bitch.
He's gonna, like, he sees the rest of you like, he's gonna look at you reserved.
How are we supposed to get to our luggage then?
You should have brought everything you needed before you boarded the train.
Yeah, but that's what the luggage car is for, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't work for the train. This
right,
is our
so
car.
then
It's
you
private,
don't have any authority to tell me where I can and can't go, right?
Well, we've talked with the train staff, and we have it worked out with them.
Well, that's fantastic, but you're not train staff, and I've got luggage aboard the luggage car, which means I can go get my luggage off the luggage car, right?
No, you can go get train staff and see if they'll let you.
Well, are you going to stop me from going to the luggage car?
Yes, I am.
Alright, so I'm going to step forward, me being my old self with my cigar in mouth, and blow a big puff of cigar smoke right in his face. Is that right, boyo? You prepared to have your arse handed to you in a basket, then?
See that intimidation.
Is there intimidation?
There is intimidation.
You roll whatever you want.
Roll whatever I want. I'm gonna roll.
As far as whichever one of those, I don't care.
Accounting.
My accounting skill is amazing.
Holy shit.
That is a 12.
He's gonna like cough at the smoke and be like, and he's gonna like bang on the door. And there'll be some other people kind of approaching, and he's gonna lean over and try to talk to them.
Can I see in the car?
Can I listen?
Yeah, you can roll listen.
And then I guess you're wanting to...
And you can, I guess, do like a spot hidden for anyone that's wanting to try to look in the car.
Oh, come on. It's a 72 and a 70.
I'm pushing that, if you're cool with that.
No, that's fine.
Same, if possible.
I succeeded with a 15 on the spot hit.
There we go. I succeeded with a 28 on spot hit.
Oh my god, it got worse.
So let's just... the door opens.
It's obviously a fail, but if you will allow, I'm not hiding the fact that I'm trying to listen in.
Yeah,
I'm stepping into their conversation.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
First, let's just start. The door opens. He leans back to try to talk to some other people who lean in, and they're having a conversation. And so Declan Theo and Jack, you're going to look in there. The doors, for the most part, are all closed. And you notice that there are two other individuals towards the back that are kind of standing by each side of two sets of doors on either side. We're going to say there's about 4 doors down the whole row of the car. And one of the doors opens, and you're going to see this kind of hooded figure lean forward And the gentleman that's kind of leaning in to talk, he sees the hooded figure, and he kind of immediately moves to wave at the hooded figure. The hooded figure goes back and shuts the door. You don't really get a make out of who this hooded figure was, but they seemed very nervous about that person kind of making an appearance. Then he's back to talking to them. Declan, you hear them, they're leaning over, talking to each other, trying to be hush hush. You kind of start to lean in, you can't, and you're not really paying attention, but you get really close to the guy. Like, you're almost kind of right up on his tush, right behind him, and he kind of stops, turns and looks at you, and you're just kind of like, I mean, you're smoking your cigar.
I just got my cigar. I'm like in the conversation at this point.
You probably got a little too close.
What are we talking about, boys?
And so they're going to kind of push away, and the other one, they're just going to be like, look, you need something from your luggage cart, we'll escort you through.
Sounds fine.
But only you.
I'm special, leave. Am I?
Yeah. You look like you're together, so if there's something y'all need, tell him. We'll escort you through. No funny business, and you just need to be done. Or
expect him to carry all of our stuff?
Or we can make this more difficult.
More difficult? Oh, you're real threatening, lad. All right, I'll see my way back there then.
So everyone else is holding back?
That's up to them. I mean, Declan's going to go with him, but whether or not everybody's okay with that, it's up to them.
They said one at a time, right? So...
No, they're just saying only Declan gets to go.
Mm-hmm. That he can carry back everything.
Mm.
Give me a sec, let me make sure that I know what all my friends here need. I'll turn around and talk to them for a second.
I'm gonna look over Declan's shoulder. Is he listening in? The other guy?
No, he's actually turned around. He's talking to the other guy because he's kind of got you guys moving away, talking to yourselves. I guess if you're watching a little bit, you'll see the other guy kind of move off, and they don't close the door, but he knocks on one of the first doors, and so he's just kind of waiting there. So you guys are having your conversation. He goes off and knocks on another door.
Alright, so I'm just hoping that I can find a piece of unlocked luggage back there that I can take something out of.
Do you want me to try and go with you, or do you feel comfortable going alone?
I'm not too worried about the fella. It's mostly just whether or not I can find something that I can actually bring back like I needed it. God help me if I open up luggage and find women's things.
Well, just grab a briefcase and take it with you.
Oh, right, so that I can stash something in there, all secret-like. It's not a bad idea. Are we in our car, or are we in... Or is our car further up?
Your car's further up.
Okay.
In my personal opinion, I say you let Declan head on up there, and the rest of us invoke Plan B.
I don't
was
remember
Plan
what that was.
Boom, right?
We go on the roof, and we meet you on the other end.
So long as I don't have to go on the roof, I don't give a damn what you do.
I think I'd rather go with Declan.
I think I'm gonna go with Declan on that one.
So Simon, the only one going on the roof?
You're more than welcome, Simon.
I'm good with going on the roof on my own.
Okay.
Damn it, Theo's got to go on the roof.
Jack's not.
He's got to follow Simon.
Jack,
Okay.
hold down the fort.
This is... I can't wait to see where this goes. So... I never thought we'd be this long on the train. Anyways, here we are, and Jack, as you kind of come back and Declan is walking up, you will notice that the guy that was originally up there guarding, he's there. 3 other individuals now have shown up. One of them was the one they knocked on the door, And so there's now 3 other individuals, and there's still the 2 in the back kind of standing by the doors. The one of the individuals within the group of 3 will look to you, Declan, and be like, "Come with us."
Oh, us now, is it? Have my own little escort, don't I?
Yes.
Well, lead on.
And if you cause
Protect
any
the lady
trouble,
as she goes
there'll
and
be
checks
trouble.
on her things.
And so the 2 there will be 2 of them that'll kind of turn and walk in front of you. The other one will kind of stand to the side to let you walk, and he'll want to walk behind you.
I will do my best to spot hidden and listen as I pass through the train. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah. So you can kind of roll both of them.
Spot hidden would be a success at 53, and listen would be a fail at 84.
Okay, so we'll get to that. Jack, you're at the front. Are you trying to talk to this guy, or are you just going to stand there and stare at him?
I'm going to stare at him, just try and make him uncomfortable.
Okay. I don't know if you're going to try to bum cigarettes off him, since, you like to bum cigarettes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We'll see.
Okay.
Honestly, what I'm waiting for is the sound of Beavis and Butthead running across the train to make a distraction. That's what I'm waiting on.
Well, they found the ladder, so they're going to climb up. And so you kind of get up on the roof. The train is traveling about anywhere between 45 to 55 miles an hour. Yeah. So you are getting that air kind of blasted in your face, and you can roll. We'll have you roll Dex, since that ride is not really for riding a train; it was for riding a horse.
I succeeded with a 47.
I'm gonna have to push that.
So, which one of you is going first?
Oh, that's worse.
Probably Theo. Got to make sure it's safe for Simon.
Well, unfortunately, he was behind you, didn't make it on the ladder, and fell underneath the train.
And we might need your other spell there, Jason. No. Okay. So, luckily, it was just you first getting on the ladder. You do slip a little bit, and you realize this is going to be a little more difficult than you think. And Theo, you get up there. You're kind of up there. You're kind of like, your cheeks are kind of.
Definitely
as you're don't
want to be here.
You watch him slip. Soot and sand.
Yeah, you watch him slip and almost fall. You probably clinch quite a bit, and feeling like, oh crap, there goes my job. But he catches himself. You guys help up. You are on the top. Wind is blowing in your face, and you are moving towards the back.
Just to be clear, we're moving towards the back. So wouldn't the wind be like at our backs, not in our face?
I guess technically. Well, I'm saying like when you were first pulling up, it's in your face.
Yeah.
Now
okay,
you're turning around and you're getting a windoscopy. Okay.
Always wanted one of those.
Anyways, so make me another dex roll. Let's see how you're progressing on this train.
Don't be a flat tire now, though, Theodore.
Oh, thank God. I got an extreme success of 11. Can I get take half of that to give it to Simon?
I pushed it for a success. I'm just getting my bearings here.
Yeah, he's a little shaky on there. You actually something just whizzes by your head. You think it might have been a bird. You're not quite sure, but it almost hit you. And again, a lot of clenching, a lot of shakiness. Theo, you almost feel like you could stand up and do backflips or cartwheels or whatever on here. It is going smoothly. You are moving so gracefully, and you even see Simon slip a little bit. You move your leg just in time to give him some balance, and he's able to use that and keep his balance, and you're just kind of trucking along. Let me see here.
So, to be clear, this would be a windoscopy. This would be like a windoma, right?
Or windoma, sorry, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Got to get our terminology right.
I know, it's
important.
Yeah,
Keep moving forward, Theodore. This will soon be eggs in the coffee.
I don't know what that means.
It sounds like a
Jack,
disaster.
It sounds bad.
Jack, if you want to make a roll as far as listening.
Simon's muttered curse as he exits the train, and then another one. Eggs in the coffee! From outside the window.
You just hear me regularly falling. Tudum. Tudum.
I know it's in here. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, you're going to have me start rolling for luck in order to make these, Todd.
God, are you deaf, Jack? Like, what is going on?
Apparently.
He's a PI. He's not paid to listen. He is. So you're sitting there. It's not so much that you can't hear them. You do kind of hear it, but you also notice that the guy across from you is completely oblivious. He's just kind of staring you down. He does not seem to notice the. He's just kind of in his own little world watching you. So you had a better listening score than him. So you do hear it a little, or you do hear it, but it's not as, I guess, obvious as it sounds.
I'm just gonna make small talk with him. Ask him where he's from. Who, you know.
You're probably, he's gonna kind of, let's see. What is
So,
he
when did you lose your virginity?
I put most, not most. I put a lot of points into like charm. So,
are you gonna roll for
what's that
charm?
gonna do for me? Huh?
Are you gonna roll for charm?
Well, I don't know. What's fast talk do?
Fast talk's like where somebody catches you off guard and you have to give a quick explanation of how well they believe you, or it's kind of
Basically
like
how Simon talks. It's a
Or he's
fast
caught off
talker.
It's your
guard.
ability to
Man.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's a better.
That's most of my skills are in bullshitting and charming. That's where most of my skills are.
Are you trying to charm him?
I don't want him to fall. Yeah, sure. What the fuck? I haven't rolled it yet.
Seduce the guard.
I'm gonna seduce the guard
Classic plan.
He rolls a 4.
with a.
Oh shit!
That is
Extreme
an extreme
success.
And the next thing you know, the dick in the box has a hand in his pants.
So
Well.
there's going to be this interesting there's going to be a moment where he just kind of turns to you and he's like, has anyone ever shared the dream with you?
Bye.
How moist is the dream? Or
I'm
wet?
gonna look at him for a
Moist.
second. And I'm still a little hung up on the whole, being yelled at by the bartender. Is that a whiskey? What's that?
No, the dream.
Moonshine? Beer?
The dream is our connection to what is the real world. And if you have a connection, if you are even able to recognize the dream.
So you're talking cocaine?
I think it's opium at this point.
Oh, it's opium at this point? Okay.
Now, I'm a part of a group called the Dreamwalkers, and you seem like you could be a part of this too. I just need to know if you can understand the dream.
Don't know. Never tried.
He will reach into one of his pockets, and he's going to pull out this little book, and he's just going to read this over and come see me again tomorrow, and let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, sure. And I'm gonna take the book a little bit and just kind of stick it in my coat pocket. Not even gonna look at the title. Just it was my attempt was distract him from the two on the roof, but it kind of backfired a little bit. So
No, he is distracted. He is solely.
I know. I mean, that's
It's
good.
not backfiring, but all right. So, all right. Now, Simon and Theo, you are making your way over the other car, and just make me another dex roll here.
God,
It's on fire.
I got a 3.
Should I roll a luck on another failure here? This is my 3rd one in a row.
I mean,
you can push it, or you can just go with it, or spend luck, or
you
like I said,
could spend 4 luck to just.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to spend 4 luck in order to make that roll.
All right. So you start to slide again. You manage to catch something to brace yourself, and you are making your way across the next car, and you have made it to the ladder for that one. If that's where you're going down, or are you going to crawl across the what would be the luggage car and come down on the back side of it? I don't know what you guys are wanting to do.
The best part of this is they have to go back.
I know.
Yeah.
Against the wind.
Yeah. Where is Jack at this point?
So Jack is here at the front.
Or not Jack. Sorry, Declan.
So I imagine Declan's going to has been escorted. Probably by the time you guys climbed up and got on there,
down and back at this point.
Declan has been brought back to the luggage cart. So I'm trying to think how you would know that.
I don't know that we would.
Yeah, I don't know if you would.
Yeah,
Oh, when we get to the end of the private car, Theo will motion for Simon to stop, and he's going to close his eyes and start concentrating.
Okay.
And what does he see from the shadows?
Okay, so you did cast your shadow.
Yeah.
Okay. So and it's been going with Declan. So we'll just go with Declan. You are in the luggage cart.
So
sorry. No, you rolled. Yeah. So you rolled. You didn't necessarily, if I remember right, you got spot hidden.
Yes. And didn't get
So when you're going through here, what was your listen roll?
Listen was like 80, and I have a 70, and
okay.
Spot hidden was like a 50 or something.
So what you do hear a little bit, and what you're going to hear is, well, we'll get to that. Sorry, in your spot hidden, as you're walking through, when you get to about the second set of doors. So the first set of doors, that was the one where you saw the guy knock on. Mm-hmm. The second set of doors, you seem to notice everyone gets very tense as you're passing those second set of doors. The guys in front of you seem like they're ready to do something if you try anything. Okay. They're really getting tense. And even the guy behind you, it's not so much you can see him, but it almost you just get this feeling like you make one little move and they're going to pounce on you.
I want to point out that I'm like 145-pound, 61-year-old Irishman that is 5'9".
But you did successfully blow. You did successfully blow smoke in the one guy's face, and it really scared him. Like he's gonna have nightmares for a while. And so they're walking back. You also notice the two guys at the end of the hall get very tense as well. Like everyone's just very tense.
How many sets of doors are there in the car?
There's 4 sets.
Okay, so 4 sets. Second set, they're upset. So okay,
right.
Or tense.
Once you get to the third set, there's 2 guys, and they're kind of scattered a little bit because it's gonna get kind of crunched in the hallway, but they don't necessarily let your guard down, but the ones around you kind of let your guard down. Mm-hmm. They don't seem as tense as you're passing the third and fourth set of doors. As you're passing third and fifth, you can't make it out, but you seem to hear something that sounds like kind of like a muffled voice. You can't make out. You can't tell if it's really words. But you hear kind of a muffled voice. And as you're kind of hearing these noises, you do notice the guards on either side of you get a little tense. Mm-hmm. But other than that, if you just keep on walking, nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything to cause them, especially on my way through initially. I'm just I'm beelining it, just walking through at the pace that they're letting me walk through.
Okay. So after that, they're going to open the door. The two that are kind of are with you, they're going to kind of step to the side to let you pass through to the luggage cart, and the one that's with you is going to pass into the luggage cart with you, and just kind of stand at that entrance as you're looking for luggage. The other two are going to just be standing. They'll go into the cart again and kind of wait, but otherwise it's just that guy with you in the luggage cart.
Okay. When I go in, I'm gonna make a show of like looking through the luggage, like I'm trying to find my stuff. And I'll make a comment about how it's going to take me a while and I don't need a babysitter, and I'll knock when I need him, and so on and so forth, to try and dismiss him if possible.
Okay. You can make a persuasion.
I'm not very good at that, but we'll give it a go.
Do it.
That's a fail of an 80 against
it
10.
Is. And his is kind of a fail on his interest in you. So he's gonna, he'll stay there. He will stay because this wasn't quite high enough. So he's gonna stay there, but he is not really paying attention to you. He is kind of like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, and I'm taking my time going, oh, where's my case? And I'm like, oh, they want me to find stuff for them too, so I'm trying to trying to find their cases, and eventually, if I can, it's like I assume that there's probably like rows of stuff back and forth. I'll try and disappear behind one, and I'm just seeing if any of them are open at that point, when I have broken visual line of sight. So if there's any that are not locked, I'm going to try and open those to just take something arbitrary out of them. And I will probably leave money behind for anything that I actually take stuff out of, if possible.
Okay, so you're looking... Theo, this would be about the time that he's starting to walk and get by himself. You kind of are starting to... Your shadow is connected, and you're kind of able to see and hear what's going on here.
So I know that he's looking through luggage, and he has one guy in the car with him.
I don't think so, because I think he's gone to be out of his sight. So right now, with your shadow just staying in his, kind of hiding, that's all you're kind of experiencing.
I mean, I'll be moving back and forth.
That's fine. It's just how he wants to use, because he can technically move his shadow clone.
Okay. Connection. I would probably scout the car to see if there's anyone hiding in it.
With your shadow?
Yeah.
Okay. So, is it imagine you're moving it within the other shadows to kind of keep it low key. Because I don't know what Declan's going to do if he sees like this shadowy figure all of a sudden appear that looks like a man, and
he'd probably shoot it.
No, it's going to stick to shadows as much as possible.
So they're fine, and so you'll see that there's one individual in there.
Okay, and question for the party here: why did we climb on top of the train car to get back here? Why did Simon and Theo need to be back in this car?
That is not a party question. That is a Joshua question.
Yeah.
You'll find out. You'll find out when it's Simon's turn.
So
Okay,
firing
that's fine.
Through the roof.
We already knew there weren't kids in there, so.
So after I determine that there's no one in the car besides Declan and the one guy, I will return the shadow to Declan, and then opening my eyes, I'll tell Simon that where Declan is and where the guy is in that car.
So are you yelling this? I imagine you're yelling this, because again...
I mean, I'd get close enough to where I wouldn't necessarily have to scream.
Okay. Okay, so you communicate, and so are you kind of staying there, Theo, or are you waiting for Simon to tell him what his master plan is? Or
yeah, Simon is got some plan here. I'm going to let him initiate. I'm just there for recon.
Simon's like, get out of my way. Let me lead like I wanted to. Pushes you off the train.
So Simon is going to. I mean, he essentially got really low and close to the top of the train while Theo was scouting, and I'm going to move forward to the edge. And you said there's 2 guys that are standing guard on the door on the outside.
They went back inside.
Oh, so there isn't anybody there right now.
Right. There's just there's one guy on the inside of the luggage cart watching Declan.
Okay.
The other 2 came up when they went in. They went back inside because they didn't want to have to sit outside in between the thing.
Okay, so I wasn't able to get there before they went back inside.
Mm-mm.
So how many?
Right.
Just real quick, how many people have we counted associated so far in that car? There were three people that led me across. There's a guy still with Jack, and there were 2 more people in the car plus the hooded
hallway?
guy.
There were 4 more in the hallway.
No, 2.
2 more in the hallway plus a hooded guy.
Well, there were 2 in the hallway and then 2 that were outside the car. They went back into the car.
Right. So now there'd be 4 in there, but whether they're in the hallway or they originally came, you would have kind of seen this. The guy knocked on the door. They came out of the room that he knocked the door on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just after totals, but from what I can tell, there are 6 individuals plus the hooded guy, right?
Right.
Okay.
That you've seen so far.
That I've seen so far.
And I would say that you heard what sounded like muffled voices on the 3rd and 4th set of doors. Okay. So you think there might be people in there, but you couldn't really make out what that was.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Joshua.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just trying to rethink what it is that I had planned. So I think I'm going to use my inspiration and try to determine whether or not I should take the advantage and if these folks are dangerous to me and it's better to get rid of them or leave them alone.
Okay, so...
And that is another failure.
It's not a failure. You just rolled a 77.
The 77 with a success of a 35, so I did not hit the success in it.
Right. Which, as I explained to you so people know, that this could have consequences later on for you when you have a failure or something. But so you kind of get this feeling coming over to you. Again, it's not this talking, but you do feel that these Dreamwalkers are a threat to you. And there is this feeling that taking them out would be what you want to do. Or kind of that feeling that that's a good idea.
So with that, Simon is going to kind of just mumble under his breath. I don't know if Theo will be able to hear him, but he'll have the opportunity to. But essentially saying something along the lines of, I have money, I'm rich, I'm on top of the world, fate wouldn't take me out right now. Might as well take the chance while I can. And I'm going to move forward to the ladder to come down on the other side, so I can be by the door. And I'm going to put my back against the train. And I just want to pound on the door with 2 pounds. And the first guy that opens that door, I'm going to grab and try to throw off the train.
So you're knocking on the cart where the people are at, not the one that's guarding Declan.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And didn't we determine this is a covered walkway?
I thought you said it wasn't, which is how we got on the train.
Look, we'll it's whatever we need it to be. You have the ability to throw them off. Let's do it.
Okay. So Theo rolled a 19
on listen.
Success on listen. So he's hearing Simon talk about fate won't take him today. So he is rushing down the ladder to get behind Simon before he does something ridiculous.
All right.
I have the bees. Fate won't kill me today.
All right. So
you're behind him, waiting for him to do something ridiculous as he knocks on the door.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making
and I'm
sure
probably
you're
gonna
clear on
hiss. What the hell?
So you knock on the door. I am trying to even think what.
I got a grapple ready, man. I got a grapple ready to roll as soon as
I love
the first
it.
As soon as that guy opens that, I'm just gonna.
Let's.
I'm gonna have my blackjack ready.
I guess it's a brawl. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's brawl.
Meanwhile, I've opened up a suitcase that has a lot of opium in it, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
God.
make me a roll of luck for you, Declan. Let's see if you.
It's opium and lingerie, and you pick up a little stringy pair of panties. You go, "These are mine, Jack of his wife. He carries them everywhere he goes."
Yeah. You have found. You've opened up an older woman's suitcase or bag, and you are definitely going through her lingerie.
Her unmentionables.
Her unmentionables. Okay,
What
so
a massive brawl. Jesus Christ.
Lace bonnet.
Declan's going, oh, where's she at?
I just like that the other guy's in there with you. You're just picking it up. Jesus Christ.
Before he chucks
I
somebody,
think I would have remembered her on the train in the dining car.
before he chucks somebody off a train, how long have these guys all been gone?
I would say probably about, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes
Or so, yeah.
Unfortunately, this is not a dick with ears, so he's not going to hear anything that's going on.
Declan's like,
No, he's up there seducing the guard,
There's no one knows.
learning about the dream.
this
Alright.
is not my luggage.
I am going to. They hear the knock, so one of them will come to the door. I'm going to let you roll brawl with one advantage because they're not expecting this, and he kind of throws open the door. And did you add the advantage on there?
Damn, I still failed it.
You're not
I guess
really
if you
a
want to
brawler.
push it, you can try, but
Do I have a chance to hit him with my blackjack?
so, well, let me see. We're going to see how well he responds to this.
Come here. Oh,
And he
One.
actually rolls worse. So even though you fail in this, he has a worse reaction to it. And so you do manage to grab him and pull him out. You don't necessarily have... Well, give me a strength roll real quick. Let's see what your strength...
He trips over his own feet and kills himself. God damn it.
92.
That's a 92.
Simon,
I
push it.
can push that.
Push
if
it.
you will.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Oh my god. The only
Jesus
thing,
Christ!
I didn't want to say, the only thing I've succeeded on tonight was the boiled goose.
Yeah. That was it. Was it worth it?
So...
Yes,
Took the street
This is
tacos.
damn good. Let's just do a contested roll. Let's see if he rolls worse than this. He does not. He resists your pull. He is sitting there looking at you like, "What the heck are you doing? Where did you come from?" You're just kind of holding on to him. Theo, I guess you have the blackjack out. Just see if you can smack him, and we'll see what happens here.
Okay, never actually used this before, so. All right. Do I have any bonus or anything, or just? straight up?
I guess you could mark. I don't know. You could probably mark outnumbered. You got him outnumbered.
So fucking
I don't know how to
comforting.
do
I've never used this before.
It doesn't let me push that at all.
Oh, did it even roll?
Not yet.
I think you have to. Oh, there. It's
Holy shit!
gone. Wow!
That is an 8. Hard success.
Dang. So you hit him. You can.
For
Oh,
7
but
damage.
I'm gonna say you knock him square unconscious, and given that Simon did not have a very good hold on him,
No,
you
did
hit him
not.
so hard he falls over the back and off the train and probably dies, as far as you know. But he is gone.
Did the door close behind him as he got pulled out?
I imagine it started to. We're gonna find out what
Declan
the other
has
people.
found some interesting shit at this point, and he's waving the card over.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, I found what I'm looking for, but would you look in here? Who packs like this?
Oh my gosh. So the other three seem to notice something happened because they just kind of heard them like, what the? the sound effect anytime someone falls in the movies. And they hear that. So those three the two start to rush. The other one knocks at the door in front of you, Jack. And you kind of hear this knock. He turns around to open it, and he's like, something happened to Ralph. And he's like, what? And he takes off running, and he doesn't know what to. He kind of looks at you like, so
Jack's just kind of like he took the book back out of his pocket. He's kind of thumbing through it.
So two guys are rushing towards you all, and there is going to be, now there'll be three of them, but the other one's all the way at the other side. So three guys are rushing towards you, and they don't know exactly what's going on. Are you planning on making a stand and taking them out? What are we doing here for you two? So I know what you're.
The next one comes through, I'm going to try to throw that one too.
I'm back up against the train where we were before. I'm just waiting for the next guy to run out and slap him.
How big is the space that they're occupying right now?
We're like,
I think they're just
3-4 foot right there.
They're sandwiched against each other. Theo's got his arms
I feel
over
like
his
we're
head,
on two sides of the door.
Oh, okay. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're each on one side of the door. I'm trying to grab him and throw him, and Theo's whacking him.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm hitting him in the back.
Slap him.
So, all right.
This just turned into a Three Stooges episode.
It did.
Only just now.
The third guy, he comes through the door. You can try to grab him and do your thing. Hey, look at that! You get a good hold of him.
With a 7.
You are reaching. Just give me a strength to see if you've got enough to chuck him over the side.
I don't know if we read all the rolls for you. You rolled a 92, you pushed it to a 91, and you just rolled a 98 for your next strength.
Yeah, for my strength. Yeah, I can push that.
Yeah,
but
you can.
You may as well push
7
it.
on the brawl. So
87. That's better.
I forgot to roll for him to see how well he is.
34.
So he's resisting.
He's
Hit him, Theodore.
So Theodore, you get a hit. After this, you guys are going to be basically in an initiative. So Theodore hits him kind of on the shoulder, but it brushes off. And so you guys are in initiative now. There are two people coming at you. One of them in your set of, or you're holding on to him, and Theo is trying to smack him with his blackjack.
All right.
I didn't hear anything, but since that guy's gone, is that door unlocked or is it locked?
No, the guy that was out there with you, he's looking at you. He didn't go anywhere.
He didn't go anywhere.
He's kind of confused on what's going on. He doesn't know what
we both are, but because I didn't hear anything. I did a listen check, by the way. Rolled like a 92.
Well, I would say that when the door opened and he told them, you probably would have saw the others running towards the door in Declan's direction. So I don't know if that means anything to you.
But Declan is oblivious currently?
Yes.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I don't know that I want to get involved in this, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I see.
This was not Declan's plan. Declan's plan was to be able to go through, and he's just doing recon on the car. So we wanted to walk through and listen and look, and then do arbitrary shit in the luggage cart, and then look and listen on his way back, and that was it. That's all that he wanted to do.
Theo's just following Simon around. It's his job.
Declan, I did roll just to see if that guard that's with you hear anything, and he'll probably say, he'll kind of, I think he I don't know if he'll hear him, but he'll like, hey, are you almost done? We need to be moving along.
Huh? Oh yeah, I just need to get something for one more thing, and then I'm done. Then I'll scooch over to another spot.
What the hell's going on back there? You'll kind of hear him just say, what the hell's going on back there?
Oh,
I'm just going to ask
not with me, with what's going on over there.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to ask the guy in front of us, what's going on? What's all that about?
None of your business.
Okay, then.
So much for the seduction.
I know,
So
it's like
nice to me
short-
5 minutes ago, and now
Short honeymoon period, man.
Yeah.
handing me a book and telling me to shut
he's
up.
He's looking nervous. All right, he is.
Read your book and shut up.
Okay, so no one has a gun out. So we've got Theo. What is your dex?
55.
55, and then Simon, your dex is.
It's also a 55, but while I'm grappling this guy, I would like to do a spot hidden to see if he's got a gun on his belt or in his jacket, like in a holster, so I can just grab it and fire it straight down.
Okay. Sure, make a spot hidden.
I don't know if that counts as carrying a weapon or not, if I'm just grabbing his, but that is a success with 58.
Okay. You do not see that he is carrying a gun on him. You will notice, though, that he has, like, a knife.
Okay.
Simon, you get to go first, and you're holding him, so you're going to, like, reach for his knife.
Yeah, and try to stab him in the gut with it.
Okay. So we are going to have you then just make a roll here for that. And what I'm going to have you do is make me a dex roll first. Okay. So you're able to get the knife, and since you're pulling the knife and it's close to him, I'm going to let you roll the brawl, but give you an advantage.
There you go.
Ooh! That is a success of an
Nice.
8.
All right. You slice him pretty good, and so you're grabbing a hold of him. You reach in, you grab his knife, and you slice him across the gut. And as you're doing that, are you still trying to even throw him over the train?
If I'm able to do all that in one round, yeah.
I feel like you're grabbing
another
him,
hand
you're
to
trying to
throw
get
him.
control. So just make me a strength to see how it's going, because you're still grabbing him. So we'll see how you do. And you rolled a 72 with that.
Yep.
And he is going to maintain his balance of 17. So he's still grappled with you. You've cut him really good, but now you have a knife in your hand. And Theo, you're up. There's a right next to you. Simon is wrestling with this guy. You know that there are 2 more coming at you, coming down the rail. The one's really close. What are you looking at?
Probably going to have to try and take this guy out that Simon is struggling with.
Okay. So you roll. You hit him for some more damage on kind of the back side, since he's kind of facing away from you. And he kind of goes limp, and but he doesn't quite fall over the edge. He's trying to now fight off 2 people coming from all directions, but he is being very vocal. I know it's really noisy with the train going, but he's being pretty vocal. And so the next guy is coming. Well, the guy that's wrestling with Simon, he's up. He is going to try to punch you. So he's going to swing. You can make an attempt to dodge or block.
I will try to dodge it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh my god! That
And
is
he
Man.
rolls
97.
well.
Man, I
he
wish
rolls
you were
a 10.
rolling for treasure in D&D with all these 90-plus rolls. Good God.
So I gotta get here.
So with that guy yelling, is my guy or I not hearing any of that?
Oh, it didn't roll.
I mean, I haven't heard anything, and I'm in just the next car.
True.
So he's gonna haul off, and he's gonna punch you, and he's gonna do 3 damage to you.
woo! All right.
And then just kind of be there with you. The next guy is going to come up. He's going to see his fellow member sliced across the belly, been hit on the head, or kind of bleeding from the head, looking in rough shape, but he sees Simon or Theo over there with a blackjack, kind of like trying to hide around the corner. So he's going to reach for his knife, and he's going to pull out his knife and take a swipe at you, Simon, or Theo.
Like out of the door, just like swinging out the door like this.
No, he comes in the doorway. Like he comes in enough to where he's going to try to swipe at him with the.
Oh, gotcha.
Knife.
Okay.
He's able to move up there. So, Theo, are you going to try to dodge? Okay. Woo!
Dude, have you missed a roll tonight?
1, I think. That's an
Oh,
extreme
jeez.
success of 10.
Okay, yeah, you dodge it. He swings pretty well, but you are able to knock it aside, and he is he's kind of at a disadvantage now. The way he swung, the third guy's coming up, and he can't do anything, but he's gonna make a holler, and he's gonna yell back towards like, "We need more help! We need more help!" And 2 more guys are going to come out of the other side. So 2 guys came out of that one side of the first row, 2 more come out of the other, and they're looking around kind of bewildered. And he's going to be waving them to come up, and so they're going to take off towards the front. Meanwhile,
Towards the front or the back?
or towards the back. Sorry, towards the back. The other guy in Declan, he's going to hear this commotion going on, and he's going to throw open the door and be like, "What the hell's going on out here?" And Declan, you're probably going to hear him get pretty excited and sound pretty like amped up. And I'm not even sure where you're at in the train cart at this point, if you've been trying to keep line of sight of him or trying to be out of his sight.
I mean, I'm kind of poking around in the luggage back at the back end of it, is like at a distance, but at his call, like most trains aren't super wide. I would imagine that I would just be able to like poke my head around and look, and
so you're gonna look and you're gonna see this
because I would see
commotion.
Theo and Simon because their backs are to the other car, which means they're facing me, right?
Yeah. You're gonna see this. Simon seems to be wrestling with somebody. Theo seems to be wrestling someone. The guy that was with you is looking, and you can tell that he's starting to like kind of reach into his cloak. His back's to you, but you see him lifting up his cloak to reach in, or jacket, I should say. He's not really they're not being completely stereotypical cult members. So he's reaching into his jacket for something. So I don't know what you're going to do.
I'll see that.
Do we have this? Is me,
Declan.
I thought he said Jack.
Sorry,
in his jacket. He was reaching in his jacket. Is there? Can I take an action this round, or is that?
I'm gonna say if you look and see this, you have a chance to act. Like I don't know how you're gonna act. I guess was your.
Jeez. So, I don't know what he's pulling out of his jacket. I don't know if he's got a knife or he's got a gun. But I can see that Simon has been injured, right? Like, he took something.
I don't know that you would know that he's been injured, but you would definitely see that they are locked in fighting with each other. And I
can
might
see
have been able to see
a crowd of people in the other train car coming this direction, right?
You're probably wondering, or I don't know, did Simon share his plan to climb over the top?
He didn't share shit with anybody.
He hasn't said, like...
Okay, so you are probably like, what the fuck are they doing over there?
So I'll draw my pistol, and I'll try and call to the guy, and try and get him to turn around and face me, I guess. Hey, what's going on up there? And I'll have my pistol drawn, and hopefully he'll turn around and look at me.
I love how he turns on. He's like, "What the hell's going on out there?" You look over, you're like, "Hey, what's going on out there?"
Oh yeah, that's what he said, isn't
it? So he's
NYPD.
He's gonna turn around. As he turns, you're gonna see that he's reaching for a knife, and he's gonna see you reaching. Or do you have your gun drawn?
Oh, if I can, I'll have drawn it.
Yeah. So he's gonna see you, and so we'll kind of just start with the next turn. You have your gun drawn. He's reaching for the knife, looking at you. The guy that's at the front, he probably heard for you, Jack, that they were screaming, "We need more help." He's going to turn around from you, open up the door. At this point, you're going to see a huge crowd heading towards the back. And he's just staring like, what the hell? I don't know what your plan is. If you're just going to keep thumbing through the book like, I don't know.
Not my fucking problem.
I was supposed to watch the front.
I don't know.
Such a shit show.
This is an incredible shit show. As he turns around, where he cannot... Can I see straight back into the luggage car?
I would say eventually the door will open and you would see that guy. I mean, as much as you can through this crowd of people in the doorway and the fight going on up there, that you see the door open, yeah.
Well, and keep in mind, Declan's not a very big guy, so if any of these people are, 6 feet or taller, then he may be eclipsed.
I'm going to shadow step back there.
Oh, you're going to shadow step. Okay.
I'm going to shadow step.
All right. Wow.
So I'm going to
Hopefully
zippity-doo-dah.
So make
All the way.
your roll. Oh, nice.
Jesus.
And I go, what the
Jack
hell is that?
at the
And I
front.
shoot it.
The guy, let's hope he doesn't materialize right in front of you. The guy is turned away, and Jack uses a spell that he learned, a shadow step, which allows him to kind of move into a shadow, and he can travel to another shadow. So he's able to look into the cart, which gives him a much easier job of doing this. He slides over, and he is able to move into that back cart. You materialize and make me
What I was wanting to do, if possible, and the reason I asked specifically about Declan's car, because if that guy is facing Declan, I was going to jump into his shadow and try and restrain him.
Oh.
Like, Bull Nelson.
Gotcha. Okay.
If I can. If not, tell me
Well,
and that's fine.
You got a hard success, and so I feel like that would be a more difficult than just a regular success. So you got it. So I'm going to say you can. The guy is turning to face you, Declan, and all of a sudden Jack appears out of nowhere behind him, slips his arms up in his head, puts him in a full Nelson, and is holding him. And you're not really sure how he got there.
He's a witch.
But
I've said
That's
it
not
before.
news.
Yeah, I know he's a witch.
So at this point, Jack, you appear, and you will notice that all of a sudden there is two fights going on behind you with two different people. A bunch of people rushing behind you now, and you're in a full Nelson with this guy that Declan is holding a gun at. So
I'm just going to look at Simon and Theo. What the fuck are you doing, guys?
all right. So
what is your plan here?
we are going to start the next round of initiative. And we know that Declan has his gun pulled, so he's actually up first. The person he was able to shoot at is now being full Nelsoned by Jack,
That makes
who
it an
is
awful dangerous shot.
is kind of facing towards you with as good a shot as you are. I doubt there's a chance that you hit Jack.
I'm I'm decent, but
Good old fashioned through and through.
I'm also very unlucky. So I don't.
Get a collateral.
I actually don't intend to shoot this round. I want to try and talk, so I don't know if
That was my hope, so I'm glad.
I don't know if it's going to affect my initiative or not.
Something tells me
shooting
a gun on a train's a bad fucking idea.
I mean, you're towards the back, so
Yeah, my intent from the moment I pulled my gun was not to fire it. I think that I'm still affected by my insanity that makes me hesitant to pull the trigger towards humans.
Oh, yes.
So
are you going to say something to him?
If I can.
I'll let you.
It seems you all brought a knife to a gunfight, so maybe you better be putting those down and just letting us be on our way.
And I just want to... You're telling him to put it down while he's being full Nelsoned with his arms up in the air.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to project into the rest of them, because I can see knives, like there's knives and blackjack.
Okay, I got you. I just thought you were talking to the guy with his arms up in the air because he's... You want to put those down? Like, But, okay, so you're telling
Gun beats knife!
Make me a persuasion. You can put an advantage on this.
Not intimidation, because I have
Or
a
do
gun.
intimidation. Do intimidation.
Okay, thank God,
That's fair.
because I can't persuade. Is it still one die?
You can add an advantage. All right. So you rolled a 50. It's a little bit outside of your success, but that's okay. We'll find out what happens with him. So next we're going to come... Let's see. Jack, I think you're the next highest dex. You have a 65.
Yeah.
So you're holding this guy. You've just heard Declan tell him, you brought a knife to a gunfight. You might want to just give up. You're kind of holding him right now. What are you thinking here?
I'm gonna DM you real quick.
At the mention of the name, you'll probably feel him tense up, and that's all you'll know for right now. You're just gonna feel this like.
Otherwise, I'm keeping this guy in a full Nelson, and I'm trying to get him like on the floor on his knees.
Okay, make me a strength check while you're doing that. Yeah. You take him down. Like you use the leverage to bring him down, and he goes down to his knees.
Got an 11 on that roll. Hard success.
You rolled 11, yes, with a hard success, and he was trying to resist you, and he rolled an 89, so it wasn't enough to resist. And he is down on his knees, and you kind of have that pressure on him. So we'll see what's going to happen. That will bring up Simon. You're the next initiative. You guys all have higher initiative than these guys.
To answer your question, Theo, no, I don't. I'm a dick. I don't get to arrest people.
Simon's gonna try to get a killing blow on this guy with the knife that he's grappling with.
Oh,
Holy
nice.
shit.
Jesus.
And,
Yeah.
That's a 4.
It's about time you showed up.
Roll.
Well, he hasn't pulled his gun yet.
I mean, 3 damage with the knife on this guy.
Okay, and then I need to check.
Which I had done 3 before, and Theo had done 2, so that brings him up to 8.
Yeah, and that's gonna be enough to he is going to drop dead, or be dropping. He's dying at least.
All right. If I can, I will push him back into the other guy who's in the doorway, or throw him back into that guy.
So, like the guy that's kind of fighting with
Theo. Yeah.
Theo.
So I'm about to get a killing blow and just throw this guy into the other guy to try to knock them back a little bit.
So this guy kind of swung. Theo blocked him, so he's kind of outreached at a disadvantage. Anyways, you're going to kind of shove him into him, which is going to knock him off balance. So it's a great use of kind of working together. Which Theo, you're up. You've got the blackjack. He's really off balance. I'm going to give you 2 advantage on this roll for your blackjack. You kind of miss on him, but he is kind of going down, and he's kind of getting pushed down to the ground. You threw him, or Simon helped knock him off balance. He's fallen on the ground with the other guy kind of falling on top of him, so he's kind of struggling with this person on top of him. And you didn't necessarily do damage to him, but you kind of helped knock him over with your roll. So he's trying to throw this person off of him, and you 2 are there. There are 2 more came out. So there are a total of 4 now coming at you guys, plus the guy that was in the front. So yeah.
How long does it take to cast that Shadow Gate?
I would think it would probably take you about 2 rounds. The third guy that was there, he's going to be moving up. He's going to see that 2 of them are on the ground. He doesn't really know the state. And he's going to reach for his knife, and he's actually going to swing out and try to swing at Simon with his knife. So he's going to throw Simon as your reaction if you want to try to dodge this. But actually, you don't have to, because he's going to miss. So he will miss as he swings his knife. And so there's not even a need for you to dodge. And he kind of hits his elbow on the door, doesn't get quite a good swing. He didn't quite get where he needed to be. So he's not able to. The others are going to kind of pile up in this doorway. There's kind of this choke point now forming at the doorway that the others can't get through. The guy that you have on the ground, he's Jack. You whispered to him, and he's going to kind of be like, he's like, I'll give, but I don't know. I don't know what secret you speak of. There's a lot of secrets for that family. So you'll be holding him, whether you want to loosen him up and let him try to give up if he really means it. You don't know. But that'll be everyone's turn, and we'll start at the beginning. Declan, you're up. At this point, Jack has the guy down, so they're down. You can see straight ahead. There's a line of guys coming at the doorway. One of them has a knife that is trying to swing and bumps in. You notice, though, roll me a spot hidden. Okay, you notice this.
With 56.
A success with 56. You notice that the two guys that are in the back, so there's or kind of farther back, you see them running in the opposite direction. You don't really see kind of where they're going because of the commotion. You just see that they're kind of moving in a way, and that's all you really notice. But you have a gun, you have a clear shot at the guy with the knife trying to swing.
And nobody has responded to me telling them to put down their knives because I have a gun.
The others, I don't think, heard you at all. Okay. These guys are the ones that were back in the other car.
And I'm still affected by the disadvantage on firing at people, right?
Yes. So
I will take a shot at this guy. I'm not trying to kill him. I'm trying to wound him if possible.
Okay.
If that makes any difference, but
watch you get like
which
you're
guy
gonna get like a hard success or.
So the guy with the knife
in the doorway.
In the doorway, yeah.
That's behind you. So he's essentially shooting right over your head, Jack.
That's fine.
Yeah.
There's not much upstairs anyway.
I don't think I can give myself disadvantage on this.
Do
I have to go through the handgun skill? I think I have to do it that way.
Yeah, I think that's it. Well, you can I can do that for you actually. Oh, yeah. If you click on there says add an additional bonus die or something.
So
but
that was
okay. Yeah, you hit, and so roll your damage.
1.
Yeah, you definitely
I winged him.
You wing him. You shoot and you hit him. You for the most part, you all kind of hear this sound, but you also have this roaring train and everything going on that it's not as loud or as distinctive loud as you would think. I mean, you kind of hear it from the other cars, but after that, it's really kind of not as.
I'm gonna yell, "Pay attention! Put down your knives."
That's your turn. That's gonna bring up Jack. You're holding this guy down. He said he would surrender. Are you gonna keep holding him, or are you going to let him go to see if he surrenders?
No, I'll let him go. I'll kind of. So there's a guy essentially in front of me, behind me, however you want to look at that, right towards the other end of the train. Or the other end of the walkway, right, between Simon and I.
So to explain, on the other side, you've got Simon. If you're looking straight at him, he's going to be on your right, and Theo on your left. There are two guys, and I don't know that you necessarily know the condition. One of them, though, probably is pretty limp and not moving. The other one is wrestling with this body on top of him, and kind of underneath this body. There is a third guy that's in the doorway. He had tried to swing his knife, but he kind of caught on the door, and now he's got a bullet that grazed his arm, and he's looking kind of shocked that he got shot at. And then behind him is one other person that you'll notice.
And they're still coming our way.
Yes.
Didn't you say two of them were running the opposite direction?
Declan noticed two that ran in the opposite direction, but he couldn't see where they went. He just saw them leave.
Did they leave the car?
I don't know that you could make that out from kind of your distance and with the commotion. You just saw them kind of turn and run away.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Simon and Theo and be like, "What the hell? What are you doing?" And then at that point, I will draw my gun as well. I know it's not gonna do me any good, but I'm gonna, because there's a guy on the floor, right? So I'm gonna draw my gun. And I'm going to tell the guys actually in the doorway to drop their knives and get on their knees. What I'm going to do.
Okay. So you've stood up, turned around, and you're pointing your gun at them.
Yep.
And you're kind of echoing what Declan said.
Yep.
Simon, you're there. You've got this guy on the ground with a body on top of him. You still have the knife in your hand. There's a guy that just tried to swing a knife next to you. You can see him kind of in the doorway. He was shot with a bullet. You've heard them tell him to stand down. What are you doing?
So, while still having like that knife in my hand, I want to grab the guy who has the knife in his hand that swung at my butler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab his arm and either try to just like have him hit himself in his face with his own arm and then throw him off the train, or just like yank him directly off the train, whichever one's gonna be easier. I can't really understand how his arm is, but it sounds like he threw it out really wide and like bumped it. So then I can. So if he came back, I want to grab his arm, slap himself in his own face, and then throw him off the train.
Okay. So what I'm gonna have you do is make a. Let me switch over here to skills. Make sure I'm having this here.
I should have said Simon, stand down.
Right?
Is there still one more guy behind him standing, or the two guys running, one guy on the ground and one guy in the doorway?
As far as you know, there were the 4 guys. I don't think you can really see down there, so I don't even know if you know how many guys are coming at you.
Okay.
So you're going to kind of smack his arm and try and either pop himself in the face or something while grabbing him. And so we're just going to make this like a kind of a maneuver. So I'm going to have you do kind of again, it's just going to be a combination of brawl and strength. Okay. So just roll a brawl and strength and we'll see. So far in the brawl, you roll a 67 and your success would have been a 25. So that is a failure. So you don't necessarily smack him in the face, but you are still attempting to grab him. So I'll let you try to grab him and see how that goes.
I'll try to push my strength with from a 98. And hopefully
an 85.
He rolls
and roll at an 85.
That's the best roll you've gotten for his strength so far.
It's true.
He resists you, and he is not going to be budged. If anything, you got him in a little better position, so now he can better swing at you guys. And so now he is pulled out a little bit farther. Theo, you have heard Declan say, stop fighting. You've heard Jack say, stop fighting while pulling their guns. Simon just grabbed someone, tried to throw him off the train as far as you can tell, but pulled him farther out. You've got your blackjack. I don't know what you're planning on doing here.
So do the cultists here, do they seem like they're responding to the commands of dropping their weapons?
Well, I don't know that they've really had a chance to react because they've been told to block, and then you've got Simon grabbing one of them and trying to throw him off a train. So I don't know.
We're literally shooting ourselves in our own foot. So
I don't know if you know what they're thinking.
Well, at this point, you're facing the opposite direction of most of the cultists that are back in the train. So
for sure. Yeah.
So you probably just see the one guy who just almost got thrown off the train, and the other guy you might be able to see that's buried underneath a dead body.
And that guy is still like struggling.
Well, I mean, yeah, he hasn't really had a chance to get up yet. He's been.
I think I'm just gonna try and take the guy on the ground, just lean down and smack him in the face with the blackjack.
Okay. I'm going to give you an advantage because he's on the ground and kind of can't really move.
Okay, so one die.
Talking about the guy with the knife or the guy that's underneath the other body?
The guy that's underneath the other body, I think is what he said, right?
Which he had a knife too, right?
Yeah.
Like they all have knives.
Mm-hmm.
But the one is pinned under the corpse.
I had that scene from Aladdin pop into my head where the guards are like, you idiots, we all have got swords.
That is a fail of 45.
So he is somehow able to move his head enough, and you smack the bottom of the train, and you do not hit him in the face or take him out. And so that's your turn, and I think all the guards are up.
I'm not going to really let loose if this guy's still holding a knife in his hand.
Jack, you're going to hear a noise behind you as the guy appears to jump up behind you with his knife, and he is going to swing at you. Apparently, he was not being honest. I'm going to have you roll a listen, though. We're going to see if you detect that he is...
Is there like an insight skill or anything like that in this?
You could roll like a psychology.
Okay.
Which would...
Like some way to try and determine if someone is lying.
The better question is if Declan has a reaction to shoot the guy, since he's already got his gun up.
I'm gonna push that.
But I guess you fired on your last round anyway.
Yeah, I don't know the reaction.
Yeah,
to
no.
thing.
So you do catch on that he's doing this. So I'll give you a chance to dodge. I don't think you can spend luck or any of that on there.
I can technically spend luck.
Oh, okay.
I can spend
That's a
13
lot of luck,
the
though.
luck to do it.
All right.
I'll take the damage though.
Okay, you take 4 damage to your back. You're sliced across the back. The guy that has the body on him, he is going to, let's see which ones he's more interested in. All right, he's more interested in getting the body off of him. So he chucks the body to the side and is trying to get into a defensible position. I'm going to imagine he chucks the body and tries to move away to try to get out of blackjack range of Theo, and is trying to create some distance. So he's actually moving closer to Jack. And then the other guy that was in the doorway is pulled out. He's going to take his knife and he is going to again swing at Simon.
No. So I get to dodge.
Actually, he will miss again. His throw is not good enough, so he again misses you. And this allows, but he's going to move a little bit more out of the doorway, stepping around the body, so the other guy can come up, and he is going to have his knife drawn, and he is going to try to stab around the corner at Theo. So he's going to reach around trying to stab you, and he is not going to be successful. He's going to kind of be wide, and so he is not going to come close to you. And that will be the end of this round. We'll come back to the start of the round. Declan, you are up. There's a guy that is standing up. He has just sliced Jack in the back with a knife.
Doesn't Jack have a higher
Or no,
dex?
Jack's up. Yes, you're right. Jack is, because his dex is higher because you have a gun out. You've just been sliced in the back with a knife. There's another guy that's kind of crawled towards you, but he's not facing you. He's looking more towards Theo and Simon. You see that Theo and Simon are both having knives swung at them, and they're over there fighting them off. And you now have, you've had the guy in the back and this guy in front of you. So what are you looking? What
can I see down the hallway?
You don't see anything past the guys at the door now, which you would have. I think you would have
see
saw.
past them.
Well, you don't see anyone else.
The door on the other end isn't open. Like, here's my... I assume I would have seen the guys run off, right?
So you were in the full
you were on the
Nelson
ground?
facing away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I can't... So I see the two guys, nothing else in the hallway, nothing like that.
Right.
I'm going to attempt to pistol whip this guy.
All right. You do 3 damage to him. And it kind of catches him off, knocks him back a little bit. That's going to bring up Declan. You've got this guy who just swung a knife. He got hit in the face with a pistol, and you've got your gun drawn. Are you going to shoot at him, or?
It doesn't feel like we've got a whole lot of options here, as these dumb bastards won't stop fighting. But Jack does not seem intent on killing this guy with bullets. He's just gonna beat him to death with the butt of his gun. So,
Proper PI does it.
yeah. So I'm gonna fire at. Man, I don't want to fire at the guy who's crawling on the ground, but at the same time,
I don't know that you would have a shot at him.
Okay.
Between
Because
the
I feel
legs.
like the guy and Jack are in your way.
Who do I have a shot on? I guess
Basically, I think it's just the guy that's behind. That swung his knife at Jack.
And Jack.
Are you kind of a portly guy, Jack, or what is your?
No, Jack's a scrawny kind of guy.
Okay, so this guy's a little bit bigger, so he's in the safety zone by this guy, unless you shoot him just right and it passes through.
I'll try and shoot that guy.
All right.
Just beat that guy with your gun that's right next to you.
Wow.
So all right, you shoot and miss with a
Failure with a 90.
Oh, that's not what I want to do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was me.
That was like, wait a minute. What are you okay. So, you shot, you missed, and
Oh, that's what you do.
again, it probably is enough to be like, almost like a what the heck. He seems a little like he just got hit in the face. You shoot, and miss him, and he's kind of not really sure what to think.
I'll
Okay.
pretend like it was a warning shot. Tell him to back down.
All right. So then that's going to bring up then Simon.
Yeah, Simon's going to pull out his gun at this point, and I'm going to pop the 3 guys around me. So the guy directly in front of me that I tried to wrestle, the guy that's swinging at Simon, and the guy on the ground. I'm going to have 1 bullet for each one of them.
All right.
And fire 3 shots at each one of these 3 guys.
It's like I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not playing with you guys no more.
As soon as the first shot is fired, he's like, okay, all bets are off.
Yep, we're not being quiet no more. So that's going to be a success of 84, 56, and 55 for a damage of 9, and 3.
That's the second time I fired.
It is.
The 2 guys that the one that was in the doorway, I'm going to say you shot at the one that like tried to reach around and try to get Theo. You got him, and he just falls down dead. The next guy you shot him, fall down dead. And the guy that slipped out underneath the body, you shoot him. He's not quite dead, but he does take a pretty serious shot here. And at this moment, the bodies in the doorway have piled up.
They both fall on him.
It was like all these bodies. And yeah, so that's going to bring up Theo. I imagine, Theo, you probably have some blood splatter on you as the 2 people in front of you just got shot and killed.
I will yell at the guy to drop his knife, too. So I'll do pop, 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 and be like, drop it.
How are people looking life-wise?
I'm fine. I'm good.
I'm down 3 life.
I'm down 4 life.
Can I use the blood from one of these people that literally just like exploded in front of my face to cast a heal on Jack?
Yeah, I mean they're dying. Their life is leaving. It's recent, so
we will try this.
I don't know that you could do it on Jack because you can't reach him.
I can't reach Jack?
Well, there's a guy.
I thought he was on the landing.
Knife. He's behind him in the doorway.
With another guy who I just pistol whipped.
Yeah, he's in a cult sandwich. He's got a cultist in front and in back. And
where did the cultist in front come from?
He's the one that was laying underneath the body that was still alive that you missed and didn't. And then he got shot by Simon, but he's not dead. He's the one that Simon's pointing the gun at, saying surrender.
He was crawling apparently towards Jack.
Yeah.
To get away from you.
And this thing is so big that I can't lean over and hit Jack on the shoulder.
I'm not in I'm kind of like mid doorway kind of deal.
I mean, I guess you could.
I guess I'm having a hard time visualizing this space. Like, is this a 10 by 10 space?
Look,
because I thought this was like a 3-foot span and about 4 foot wide.
Look,
like the shape keeps changing, and I'm confused.
We're in the world of Cthulhu. It is changing. It's Cthulhu. It's just expanding and contracting.
Look.
Ceilings are there, then they're gone.
Okay. Essentially, you're standing in this small space
you guys have done.
By the door. There's 3 bodies piled between you now and Simon. And down the pathway, I mean, they're probably halfway in the door, whatever we want to say, I guess, here. Down the ways, there's a guy that's kind of in between the carts trying to get up, and you could probably reach over. If you're probably right. The distance is you can probably reach. I'm just saying, you're going to be reaching over a guy with a knife, and he's going to be like right underneath you, so all he's got to do is go, But if that's what you want to do to heal him, go ahead.
Well, if I can't get to him, like, again, I'm not sure as to the dimensions of this space. So if Jack is out of my reach, I'm probably just going to try and blackjack the guy.
Okay, and
That's
I
a
didn't know
good
if you
plan.
wanted to even heal Simon, because I think he's down a little bit of health, but whatever you're going to do.
He's not down enough for me to...
Okay. So yeah,
heal
then if
him.
you want to blackjack him, that's fine. I'm saying, like, I guess you can try to heal him, but I'm going to say that it puts you in a very precarious position. You're reaching over a guy with a knife.
I do not want to be in a precarious position to get
Okay.
myself stabbed trying to heal someone else.
Well, that's how you
Okay.
rate Jack. No. Okay, so blackjack him.
All right, so we'll blackjack him. And that's a 49 for a miss.
All right. So you miss him, and that's going to bring up the guy that's on the ground. He's been shot, and he is in kind of rough shape. But he is going to look and he's going to look in your directions. I will never surrender, for the Dreamwalker will avenge me. And he is going to kind of lunge up and try to stab at his knife. Imagine this guy's right-handed, so his knife's kind of in his right hand. So he's actually going to go for Simon with his knife. He's lunging to try to stab you.
He does have like 2 more bodies on him, though, right? I mean, is that a disadvantage of like trying to lunge up?
No,
to
he
the top?
crawled away.
He got out underneath the body, then the others fell. So I'll give him
okay.
yeah.
I thought the other 2 fell on him like he was under a
No.
dog pile. Like, oh,
He got
shit,
out.
Dog pile.
He got out, but
Maybe that's what we should have done. Just start
if
throwing
you wanna-
bodies on top of him.
If you want to do a dodge or okay.
I do. Oh, can I push it? I can spin
think-
6 luck to pass.
Okay. So you dodge this knife, and he misses. Jack, let's see. This guy is not going to know what to do. He's got you in front of him with a gun, who you just pistol whipped him. Declan's shooting at his back. He's going to... he's going to turn back to you, Jack, and he's just going to say, in the name of the Dreamwalker, and he's going to raise up his knife, and he's going to try to come down and stab you.
These guys are more dangerous than the monsters.
Isn't man always?
So your dodge is
That's
terrible.
bad.
Your dodge is terrible, but he was going to
97.
miss. He missed anyways, so it's kind of like you do this slide, and it was nowhere near you to begin with, and it just looks awkward, and it's kind of like, what are you doing? But he misses you. Declan, you are going to hear this voice from behind you.
Oh no.
And you are just going to you will regret messing with the Dreamwalkers. And from behind you, you just feel this. I'll let you make kind of a reaction roll. We'll do a dex.
I was just trying to get my socks.
So you have enough time that you can turn, and in front of you is this cloaked figure. I apologize, I don't have a picture yet for you, but is this cloaked figure. I didn't know if you guys would get to him. And what you see is this face. This is not a human face. You will make a sanity roll on this.
Oh, sweet. That does always go well for me.
It is not a
You
human
got plenty of
face.
sanity.
It is a face that you have not seen. So you're going to take a D4 plus 1 in sanity damage.
Yeah, and just for reference, I rolled a 91 on my
Yes, 91.
sanity roll there. And
You-
then max loss of sanity of 5.
In front of you is going to be this creature that has what looks like a dog face.
Who's a
It's-
sweet puppy?
And
No, she's a horse. Never mind.
it's going to be in this robe, but its arm is going to swing across and just smack you. And you can attempt to make a dodge because you were able to, with your dex roll, to see kind of it's there and see that it's coming. So you can make a dodge.
It's not gonna go well either.
Damn it, Declan!
God.
And
And Declan's dead.
Fail at a 70.
it's going to swing and hit you, and it's going to hit you pretty hard.
Oh, good. No, it's not.
Nope, never mind. It's not.
That's all you got?
It's going to hit you. It is going to knock you off balance. But luckily, as it hits you with a lot of force, the luggage that you've been around absorbs the impact and stops you from taking more damage. So you kind of fly into the luggage, but it's not as bad. It looks worse than it really is. And you get a full view. It's not so much that it's bigger than you, but as you're landing, you notice that its robes don't go all the way to the ground, and you notice that it has hooves for feet.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with socks or high heels or something.
No, it has the socks you were looking for. No.
Those are my toe socks.
So it knocks you down, and standing before you is this robed creature. And Jack, you're going to see this. And from what you have read or know, Jack, you're going to know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it is standing before you. And the guy that has swung at Jack, he'll hear the voice, and you'll even see like this, the Dreamwalkers among us. So with that, we will pick up again in our next session and find out where we get, if we are ever going to get off this train. But we are in the fight, and we're going to see what happens next time. So thank you for joining us for Dungeon Brew. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.
Dungeon Brew.
I think it would be hilarious if you played a baby merchant in our next campaign. Like, that's your job, is that you steal babies and sell them to people.
That's what that was about? I didn't actually watch the video yet.
No, well, I've ruined it for you.
So there's a 90s cop show that lasted for like 11 episodes that was like a sing, like it was a, what the fuck do you call them, where they just sing fucking everything?
A musical?
A musical. It was a musical primetime cop show.
Oh my god.
And there's a 3-minute song of this guy singing about how he is a baby merchant. He sells babies.